Because what many people don't know is that the wages across the board haven't really increased since the 1970s. Meanwhile, the productivity of the labor force has increased like 1,000 or 1,000,000 times over, right? So we're getting paid the equivalent of what we were getting paid in the 70s, right? The only thing that's changing is the nominal value. The real value or the purchasing power is less or the same as it was in the 70s, right? So for an educated person, which I would consider myself as an educated youth, the ability to get a job is really it's really sad. Like, picture this. We are sold this dream that one day, or all we need is education. That our parents always told us that the key to a good life is education, or the key to success is education, and such and such and such. So picture what a shock it is that after you've graduated with your degree, master's or whatever, that you can't find a job. How are you going to provide for yourself and your family if you have one, right? So you begin to look at all of what has been said as a scam, a lie, like it's not real. And you have to take into consideration nepotism, where even if you have the qualifications, the people that normally get the jobs are the ones with a certain link or a certain family member, right? And you have to realize that, for example, to get a degree, you have to go into debt. In America alone, the student loan debt is $1.7 trillion. Like, you realize how crazy that is? To get a job that pays $20 an hour, you have to put yourself into debt to get that job in order to get a piece of paper that tells you that, hey, you're qualified for this job. And you have to work all your life, almost all your life, to pay off that debt. And this is happening to people across the world, and that's just the US alone, $1.7 trillion. Right? So they put a cap on the education, meaning what they're really telling you is that only certain people should be able to afford this kind of education, so everybody else should go back to where they're coming from. So when there's a surplus of people who are now able to afford it via student loans or whatever, scholarship or whatever they have, there becomes a surplus in the workforce. So you have more people qualified for a job than there are jobs. And it's extremely disheartening, and that's why I have things like brain drain, where people are going all over the world, leaving the countries to go find a job. Like, that average per capita income in Jamaica is $5,000 US. Like, what is that? And that's somebody who is educated. Literally, if somebody is uneducated, I often wonder how they even survive, because 5,000 US is not something that you should be able to live on, right? And just looking for the future, looking towards the future, you are wondering, where are you going to go? What are you going to do, even if you have the degree? Because a lot of people are depressed by the time they even finish their degrees, because they're like, yo, this is not what I wanted to do. Or even after they get it and they're like, yes, I'm so happy, yes, I want a job. And they're stressing themselves out, applying day in, day out, can't get a job. And even when they get a job, they can't find one that is actually paying them enough to stay alive. Because, to be real, in the capitalist economy that we're living in, it is extremely hard, or they say it's extremely hard to pay somebody a fair wage or a proper wage according to them, which is all garbage, right? They like to propose the idea or bring forward the idea that there's a labor shortage, or which they're saying there is no. But that's a lie. There has never been a labor shortage. There just be workers who aren't willing to work for the crappy wages that they're giving them. So there's actually a shortage of wages, which is on their part, because they need to pay people more in order to work. You can't expect people to go to work for absolutely nothing after putting themselves through rigorous training for over 20 years, and probably even 25 or 30 years, to come and say that, oh, well, what they're working can't provide for them each month or each week. Because, to be honest, you shouldn't need 50 odd jobs to earn or to live a decent life. And I've always told my friends that, why do you need 50 odd jobs or all these kinds of different side hustles in order to live comfortably? You are literally trading in hours of your life for commodities. Why are we so content with that? We should be the ones to change it, the people my age, right? And if you even look at places such as Spain, where they have worker co-ops, where I can't remember the name of the company right now, but they have gotten the 8-hour work week or work day down to like 6, right? And I think they get Fridays off now, right? Because you have to remember that we are human beings as well. And even though we're educated or what we would consider educated, which is just degreed, because you can be degreed and still dumb, but you have a degree, right? And with that degree, you are still struggling to provide for your family. You begin to question the whole thing. And people are realizing that now, that we're not living in a meritocracy, and we never have, and we never will. The only meritocracy that I know of is of Genghis Khan in ancient times. It has never been. Meritocracy is a myth, and we are living it out now. So it's for us to wake up and realize that we need to change the system, a complete overhaul.
Well, let me hear you say, man.